the fiercest pirate that ever lived was a woman. Don't believe me? Her name was Ching. She was the fiercest pirate to ever sailed the seas. And she got away. So Ching was born very poor in China. And you can come sit as well, absolutely. Ching was born very, very poor in China, and that's very far east of here. You have to get on a horse and ride for something like months to even think about hitting China. She was born on the farthest east reaches of China. And when she was only 19, she was working in a place that's not exactly good to be talking about, but she was kind of the lowest of the low, and she had to clean and cook, and it wasn't a very good life. Well, pirates laid siege to the town. And when pirates lay siege to your town, there's not a lot you can do. Except, well, she was smart. I surrender, take me with you. I wouldn't be brave enough to do that. In fact, she surrendered to the captain himself. And she was married to him within a year. So, you've got this a big, fierce Chinese pirate. He probably carried a sword in his mouth. But he loved her quite a bit. They say that he treated her very well, gave her jewelry and jewels and gold, and she never went hungry. Till one day, her husband died. Happens sometimes. It's very unfortunate. He'll pass away. But what's really dangerous is you're the only woman on a ship. And then like 100 men who now want your husband's old spot as captain. So you know what she did? I'm captain now. She took over that vessel. At the time he had something like 10 vessels to his name. A bit of a fleet, She took over and kept things going. And soon she didn't just have those 10 ships. And she didn't just have 100 ships either. Would you guess how many ships she probably had? 80 something. What if I told you she had 3,000 ships?
Oh.
3,000 ships. That's a lot by any standards. I think our good Queen Elizabeth's navy isn't quite that big at all times. And with every ship you're talking anywhere from 20 to 100 men. Yeah. And so she was now their captain. She led them well. They started getting riches, lots of riches. Oh, all the stories probably about sunken treasure in the Pacific. Those are probably all about her. They sent the Chinese Navy. Couldn't do anything about it. It wasn't big enough. She was far too powerful. The Chinese wrote to the Spanish and the Portuguese and the English and everyone that had an armada to send. The Spanish and Portuguese, they sent in the man-o-wars and the galleons. Because, galleons could carry many men. And if you get enough men over, you can overpower them. Well, and the English sent over their armada. And every single one of them turned tail. Every single one of them went home defeated. So at this point, She's defeated Chinese Navy, Spanish Navy, Portuguese Navy, the English Navy. Like there was no one left. I mean, no one has a very sizable navy at this point. So, you know, she's doing quite well, and they're leaving her alone because they don't. It's not worth it to lose all their ships. She finally decided one day that she was going to retire. And that means you're going to relax, right? You're going to stop doing what you're going to do, you're going to give it over. Well, retirement for pirates usually does not mean relax. Retirement for pirates usually means that you're sleeping down in Davy Jones' locker. But you're dead. It's not a good life. Well, Ching Shih, she goes. She finds herself the closest Chinese government official. She walks into his house. I'm calling the shots now. Yes, ma'am. Going to retire. Oh yes, thank goodness. But here are my terms. Yes, ma'am. I walk free. Yes, ma'am. All of my men walk free. And we keep all of our treasure.
This is the way out if you want to be.
You keep all of your treasure and your... We can't do that! Turns out they could do that.
I know where the treehouse is.
And as a matter of fact, not only could they do that, they had to do that because someone walks into your room, puts a blade in front of you and says you're going to do something. Unless you've got the manpower to take her out there. They didn't. Done for. So, they gave her her freedom. They gave her men their freedom. All their gold and all of the gold from the sale of the ships. Every single one of them walked onto the land, free man. She was a free woman. She came and she disappeared. They say that she still runs a pub these days, hiding in the Chinese countryside, far away from any water, save for a river. That's Ching Shih. She was the fiercest pirate ever.